whole story.
Hiyo ng'ombe yangu 9 zilienda. Sasa wakati hiyo maisha ilikuwa ngumu.
Hii vita ikatokea mwaka wa 1996. Mambo ikakuwa ngine, ikabadilika. Kaanza maisha ya watu kaanza kusoroteka.
Wakati hiyo tulikuwa tunalala, ulikuwa unalala na viatu. Masikio iko tu nje. Unasasukia, yani watu wamekuja wanatafuta mbuzi, wanatafuta ng'ombe. Sasa utafanyaje? Sasa unalala tu na viatu kwa sababu kila wakati ni danger.
So what has emerged is in Isiolo and Samburu, we have seen beekeeping or apiculture emerging as an alternative livelihood. One, to address the gaps that communities are facing in terms of earning income and generating a livelihood. And two, coming in as an empowerment mechanism for communities that have, for lack of a better word, could be referred as pastoral destitutes, who have lost their livestock as a result of conflict or as a result of drought.
I grew up as a normal pastoralist girl. Around 90% of work is done by women. Start from making of these houses. It's just the role of a woman. Going to look after, at times, goats is the role of a woman. Fetching firewood is the role of a woman.
About 80% of Kenya's land is classified as arid and semi-arid. Samburu, one of these ASAL counties, has endured the harsh realities of conflict and climate change, leaving many displaced and millions of women and children facing food insecurity and malnutrition.
Maisha ya ufugaji kusema kweli ilikuwa mbaya sana. Kwa sababu tulikuwa na mambo ya vita, unajaribu kufuga inaenda. Sasa tukaona ya kwamba hiyo sasa itusaidii. Kwa sababu zingine zimeibiwa na tukaona maisha imekuwa mbaya.
For many decades, pastoral communities have been affected by effects of climate change, with women and girls facing food insecurity and malnutrition. However, with adoption of apiculture, a nature-based enterprise is now turning the barren land of Samburu into green and putting money in the pockets of the rural communities in this land.
A new era of hope and prosperity is emerging in Samburu. Through the resilience of its people and the power of apiculture, this community is transforming its destiny, one hive at a time.
Apiculture in Isiolo and Samburu is particularly interesting for us because one, it is emerging as an alternative livelihood activity, particularly for communities who are looking at the effects of both climate change and conflict, because the root causes of conflict in these two counties as a result of issues relating to natural resource management. We depend on natural resource base for our main livelihood, which is livestock. And when climate change brings the issues of the risks that have increased and the shocks that have become more frequent, you find communities stressing on limited resources, thereby escalating these issues into conflict situation.
Meet Emily Lekarkar. Though bold in stature, she bears the scars of a life marked by conflict.
Currently, in terms of economic empowerment, I'm doing apiculture. And at times we can, in case of there is people who doesn't have school fees, we can always chip in and help the kids.
Samburu, a region once defined by its pastoral heritage and the shadows of cattle raids, driven by climate change, is now undergoing a silent revolution. Beekeeping is turning the tides for its vulnerable community, transforming lives and sowing seeds of hope. Emily is a beacon of resilience and innovation.
Challenges our society is facing: talk of food insecurity, talk of malnutrition, sanitation. So when I was starting the apiculture, I look at some aspect. I look at being a climate change expert. I was just looking at a business that can be done but by women, though they don't own land, but they have access to land. So I was looking for a business that women can do, youths can do. I was also looking at a business that is not involving, just need a small capital, and that is it. The other thing, I was also looking for a venture, a nature-based venture that will respond to the climate adaptation and mitigation, and including conservation.
Samburu, a region once defined by its pastoral heritage and the shadows of cattle raids, driven by climate change, is now undergoing a silent revolution. Beekeeping is now turning the tide of this vulnerable community, transforming lives and sowing seeds of hope.
And we worked with the county government to identify what is the specific alternative that these communities need. And when apiculture came up as the main activity, that is an area that we're investing in up to June 2027 to see whether we can increase the production capacity by 30% from what we have as by the end of 2023. To push it by 30%, and that will mean bringing more farmers to engage in production of honey or in the apiculture ecosystem, or increasing the production unit per farmer.
Kufuga nyuki, lazima ukuwe na mzinga, lazima ukuwe na pahali ya kuweka mzinga. Umeelewa mpaka hapo?
Emily Lekarkar is a beacon of resilience and innovation. A graduate with a master's degree in climate change from the University of Nairobi and an expert in apiculture, Emily embarked on a journey of change. Together with the community, launched an apiculture project targeting vulnerable women affected by conflict.
Some of my farmers are shackle banners. Now, because of conservation, I thought of, if I tell these people to conserve environment, what will they eat? So I had to come up, provide them with alternative source of livelihood, so that all of us, it will be a win-win situation. For me, I've achieved the conservation on environment, and for them, they will have achieved the issue of food on alternative sources of livelihood. So that's why I started apiculture.
From the young to the old, they keenly follow the training sessions focused on the price of adopting beekeeping.
Nyuki haina boundaries. Hizi sema ati siwezi kuja kwa huyu mama kwa sababu namchukia. Nyuki itaenda kwa Wapokoto. Kilomita 5. Ilete maua ya hiyo Mpokoto mwenye utaki ikutengenezee nini? Chakula. Yako itaenda pia, nyuki yako itaenda kwa Wapokoto. Ikuje 5 kilometers radius. Inakuja kukuletea nini? Lakini nyuki iko na akili hata kutuliko sisi. Nyuki wanafanya kitu kingine inaitwa scouting. Anaenda kutembea kutafuta chakula.
According to the Kenya Institute for Public Policy Research and Analysis, KIPRA 2019 report, beekeeping in the arid and semi-arid lands in Kenya contributes 80% of honey production. However, only 2% is exported.
From the areas where we have established apiaries, we have identified potential farmers whom we are now training to become harvest service providers, so that we equip the FSCs who are aggregators with the equipment and the capacity to harvest quality honey, because the market now is crying for quality honey.
To scale up beekeeping in Asal regions, the World Food Programme has provided training and beehives to the women and men involved in the project. The aim is to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals by ending poverty, ensuring zero hunger, and promoting gender equality.
I was recruited by WFP as a farmer service center. A farmer service center is an alternative for extension. So I was recruited. I went to training, entrepreneurship training. I went to Baraka College just to learn more about apiculture, because my agricultural background is not on apiculture. So after that, I went back to Nairobi University. I also did a short course on apiculture. I didn't want my farmers to hang somewhere that there is a challenge and nobody can solve the challenge for them. So I made sure that right from production, training session with my farmers, until production, until harvesting, then now I come in as a market for the farmers.
This initiative now spans 3 wards: Mararal, Suguta Marmar, and Losuk, empowering 600 farmers with 500 beehives donated by World Food Programme.
To date, we've supported communities within high honey production areas with over 2,500 beehives. This is modern beehives. That would be talking about 500 households being brought into the beekeeping ecosystem, playing different roles. Majority of them are engaged in production of honey.
Amaya ndeni kila ipotage kata tai nyapiripili bage na tiaga ipotage pe ngayeyo.
In Lowamara village, we meet Nelson Lemaramit, affectionately called Nyota. Turned to beekeeping in 2023 after losing much of his livestock to cattle raids. As a father of 6, he found a new hope in apiculture. With his hard-earned skills, Wilson has become a guiding light in his community. Serving as a farmer service center, he provides training and support to his neighbors.
Tukatoa group kikundi moja ambayo sasa tuko na pesa kutokea kwa ile mzinga zetu. Tumeuza, tukaanza kupata pesa na tukaanza kulima. Sasa maisha ikaanza kubadilika, sio kama vile tulikuwa tunaishi, kwa sababu sasa unajua mzinga hakuna ile pokota anakuja kushukua. Misinga inakaa pale ni maua tu ndio inatafuta, alafu na unaweka maji kidogo na unaenda na harvest, alafu ukimaliza harvest unauza, unapata pesa. Pesa imetusaidia kama nyumba sasa pia unajenga naye, kuku unanunua, watoto pia tunasomesha.
The Assal regions have an abundance of flora crucial for feeding bees. According to the Kipra report, only about 20% of Kenya's annual honey production potential, approximately 25,000 metric tons, is currently achieved, leaving the full potential of 100,000 metric tons unrealized. Despite this, Kenya remains the third largest producer of honey in Africa, following Ethiopia and Tanzania.
Emily is one of the farmer service centers whom we have trained through the mentorship and the coaching sessions funded by another private sector actor called Kuza, to become a social entrepreneur, to become the main driver of change in the community. And our engagement with Emily currently is to look at her being a big aggregator. Currently, she supplies Windsor Hotel with honey. And that means as the demand for honey is growing, as the high-end off-take market is growing for apiculture, her capacity to be able to absorb more of the honey from the community is increasing.
Neserian Leakono, a 25-year-old economic and finance graduate from Kabrak University and a beneficiary of the project, has embraced beekeeping and crop farming to combat food insecurity in her village. Her dedication to crop production and apiculture is reshaping the future of her community.
I am championing for the transition from a pastoralist community to a community that is able to accept and pick up crop production, because we have seen the adverse effects that are being caused by livestock. That is, when we have loss of livestock, it has led to banditry, it has led to insecurity in the areas. And I believe through crop production, this will be able to solve even the problems that come with banditry and insecurity. I also urge my community to venture into crop production, as it will help to solve the problem of food insecurity and malnutrition cases in our county, as we have such problems being among the leading causes of poverty in our
To ensure sustainability, the women have formed groups to consolidate the proceeds from honey sales for investment. In Longorati village, the Sipati Village Saving and Loaning Association demonstrates the transformative power of collective effort. These 25 women-led groups have amassed a saving pool of 21 million shillings, which circulates among members and fosters economic resilience.
In terms of community empowerment, yes, we have given back to the community. The money are in their pocket, and the response is some of them are disposing their livestock just to practice apiculture because they say this one the bandits will not come and take it.
Apiculture not only economically empowers communities, but also plays a pivotal role in environmental conservation by fostering biodiversity and enhancing crop yields through pollination. Beekeeping contributes to stabilizing ecosystem in the face of climate change. Its low initial investment requirements makes it an effective tool for increasing household income and surplus fund for food purchases.
Apiculture is a nature-based business. In terms of greenhouse emission, to me, I say it produces almost 0% or 0 point something. Look at crop production. Crop production, you start by clearing of land. Carbon dioxide is produced. Use of fertilizer, nitrous oxide is produced. Those are greenhouse gases. In terms of livestock, the waste from livestock produce methane gas. It's also a greenhouse gas. So all those contribute to climate change. But I wanted that nature-based enterprise of which it helps us to reduce or mitigate the production of greenhouse gases. So in apiculture, in terms of adaptation, we provide community with alternative source of livelihood. So just to increase the resilience of the community and reduce their vulnerability against the impact of climate change.
Beekeeping has been identified as a viable agricultural enterprise that could alleviate poverty and sustain rural employment in ASAL counties, building resilience and economic growth in arid lands. Despite this potential, beekeeping in Kenya faces several challenges: low honey production volumes, insufficient marketing systems, and environmental threats hinder growth. The World Food Programme is working to increase bee colony populations and promoting beekeeping, especially in ASAL regions. Despite the underperformance in income generation from honey production and limited international export, Samburu is experiencing a resurgence driven by resilience of its people and the growth of apiculture. This transformation is gradually shaping a promising future in Kenya's arid lands, promising improved livelihoods, environmental sustainability, and a brighter future through beekeeping.
For us to achieve social development goals, empowering women from rural parts of Kenya is key in achieving or realizing gender equity and equality. For Culture Quest, I'm Levis Musumba.
Game